I'm talking to you this morning from Dublin, which is sort of doubly poignant. I was only talking about him last night to someone as we passed the bank in which he worked in central Dublin. And he worked for RTE television and radio here in Dublin, RTE radio particularly, before he came to England. So Dublin was very much part of his life, although he was born in Limerick. But for me, he was the Don. He was the head of the Murphia. And if you got Terry's blessing, that was the biggest thing you could want, being a young broadcaster from Ireland. And I used to present a program called Open Air, which he would never appear on when I came to England, first of all, and I would have been about 26. And he wouldn't appear on it. And I met him at a function once, and I said, why don't you appear in this program? And he said, it shouldn't be called Open Air, it should be called Open Wound. All you do is discuss things and tear programs apart or whatever. But he came on and he did a special, and he just called me Big Eamonn throughout. But that was even before I was big, but he always just called me Big Eamonn all the time. And the thing that I loved about him, I was listening to Esther there, he was so indiscreet. He gossiped about everything. He talked about the industry. We'd both just finished a filming series, and when I last saw him in November, I said, Terry, how did you cope with that? Filming is absolutely awful. It's so tiring. It's so knackering. And we would just bitch about how awful it was to go out and film a series, how difficult it was, how disorganized people were, how you would stand about. And Esther was saying about him doing one take and whatever, and he said, I just won't do it for them. I just say, that's it, that's your lot, move on. People would say, if you're filming and you get out of a car or something, that isn't what they do. They film your hand on you do it like 17 times. Your hand was on the handle of the car, then your foot is shot going out of the car, and then they may or may not use these films. But what is 2 seconds on screen can take 45 minutes to film. And Terry had bad knees. And him and I had that in common. I had knee trouble once, and he went and he recommended me to the surgeon to go and see and sort it out and whatever. And he was very good like that. I've been to his home. He's invited. He was the most marvelous host and just very laid back. He was a very successful man, not only in broadcasting, he had businesses as well, and he enjoyed the fruits of his labours, and a very tight-knit family, and my heart was out to Lady Helen and the boys. He was very much a family man, and when I call him the Don, very much the Don in his family and in the business, I think particularly to some of the Irish broadcasters who he took under his wing. For me, he gave me his blessing. I mean, to get his blessing, was a marvelous thing.
Yeah, but that's an interesting thing, though, Eamonn, because you know better than most that this is a business where there is an awful lot of competition, and as a result, an awful lot of rivalry and an awful lot of backstabbing. You were in some respects, poaching on his territory a little bit, as any young broadcaster is when they start out to the older people in the industry, and yet he seems that he's not fazed by rivalry, but happy to help people and coax people along in the business.
Well, I think it's a sign of people who are very good. He was confident in his own abilities, and he knew he was significantly different. The great broadcasters that I know, Sir Terry and Desmond Lynham, again another Irishman, in a way they were so laid back. Some people may see it as lazy. I laugh when I say it because it sounds like an insult, but they were efficient. They were very efficient in everything that they did. And he was my hero from that point of view because he didn't give a monkey's. I'm really sorry, but I find this interview difficult on a number of points. I was very friendly with them, but also, being Irish, we swear a lot, and his conversations, in beautiful swearing. It's like Father Ted swearing. It's not really horrible swearing. He's a person that could have used swear words in a very lovely, descriptive, poetic way. He was a bit of a poet as well. He loved language and being on the radio. Beautiful, those dulcet tones. He was so at home on the radio, and it was like music listening to him on the radio. He's just been part of our lives for for so long, to have been around. He was enjoying his retirement, but he would do certain film series and various other things. And we look back now, and maybe, the bad back which kept him off Children in Need the last time, maybe that wasn't what we at first thought it was. And, when I last saw him in November, he looked so well. He was wonderful. I knew he had trouble with his knees. I still could see him shuffling around. Oh. Sorry, I wasn't sure. Are you still there? Because my phone...
Still here.
You're still there? Yeah, right, sorry. But, a lovely, lovely man, an institution. Look, you know what? We all appear on the TV, and you either love us or loathe us, but I loved him. I just loved him.
It's interesting when you work in this business, you learn a lot, don't you, from other people? I certainly learned a lot from watching you over the years, Eamonn, and I wonder what you've taken from him.
I've taken from him to be yourself. You see, anybody that reads a script can be replaced, but if you do it Terry's way and you be yourself, you're much harder to replace, and he's irreplaceable.
Oh, certainly someone we will never replace. Eamonn, thank you. And as you say, I know it's difficult for you because you knew him so well, but thank you as always.